Hi, I'm Casey Skurlock.
Hey, I'm Vivek.
How about you just start off telling us a little bit about where you're from?
Sure. I was born in India. I really only lived in India for like 6 months, and then after that, I lived in Dubai for about 8 years because my dad worked there. And then after that, I moved to America around like second grade. I don't even remember that whole transition part.
What's a noticeable difference between your culture and the American culture?
Basically, really, the idea of hugging doesn't work in India. You'd probably not be received very well. Um, you've probably seen this before, but we usually use the whole putting our hands together and saying sort of greeting, like Namaste is a popular one that people know. So that's the biggest thing about personal space. They have it's more expanded in India, the whole personal space, because people don't get as close as they do here, especially when they're talking, and especially the man to woman kind of relationship there is a little bit more not as attached. In India, it's really crowded that you're just gonna have to deal with places like buses where people do get like up against you and everything, and temples. Those places are really crowded.
What was something you did in your home country that's probably different?
A lot of things. I mean, just treating people who come to your I guess come to your home. There's a huge amount of hospitality in India, and there's a kind of greater respect that we give to elders.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Oh, I'm Eve.
Eve, where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria. Born there, and then we moved here when I was about 8.
What's the biggest difference you've noticed since moving to America?
Well, Nigeria, there's a lot of people, so it's very chaotic and unorganized. Like every little sector is unorganized.
What was one thing you first noticed when you moved here that kind of shocked you about our culture?
The way that people interacted, I guess, because in Nigeria, when you meet a stranger, even you're already like hands-on, and you're calling them your aunt or your uncle or your brother or sister, even if you've never met them before. But here, it's like strangers are treated as strangers.
Are there any differences, like when you came to America, you were kind of taken aback?
Well, I only interacted with kids, because I was a kid.
Yeah.
But seeing my parents like interact with other people, there was a big distance. Seeing my dad interact with a new person. Before he would like shake their hand and they, linger on for a while. But here they kept a very good distance, and like I was afraid of the person. Like, is this a bad person? That's why we can't like go up to them.
I'm Shirley and I come from China.
When did you move to America?
2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
August 2010.
Is there a really big difference between living in China versus here? Like any cultural differences?
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah, everything's different. Generally, like Chinese don't have a single religion.
Okay.
Like usually we don't believe in any religion. Chinese not like American that talkative.
Okay.
Generally,
Mhm.
I said.
So y'all are more soft-spoken.
Yeah, and Chinese people tend to like play in group, like live with a lot of people around, a lot of friends around, because it's major because they live in dense area,
Okay.
close together. In America, I noticed that people are more like isolated or more apart.
And enjoy
Chinese-
their space.
Yeah,
Mhm.
American really like their spaces, but like in China, space between people tend to be like more narrower, smaller.
America, our general greeting is, shaking hands or hugging. In China, is there a different greeting?
Usually people don't hug, adults don't hug.
Okay.
And shaking is more like business occasions, but
Okay. And like more formal.
yeah, more formal.
Is there something that when you moved to America that is so different from China that almost made you feel uncomfortable?
Maybe personal space sometimes, because that's a lot of a conquer. It's like a loneliness because as I mentioned, like Chinese lives very close together.
Mm-hmm.
But America, everybody tend to like have more like space for themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's harder to adjust.